Hey there guys, how's it going? Welcome back to my channel, and in today's video, as you can see behind me on the to-do list, I want to get a few things done in today's video. So if I just turn around here, you can see that the first thing I want to get done in today's video is I do want to test the mining ship that I built in the last video. Now the way I want to go about that is if I turn on my markers here, you can see that I marked down a bit of iron there a while ago. So my plan is I want to take the mining ship over to the iron and then collect some and bring it back. And now the reason why I want iron specifically is because one, we're running out of iron, and two, we are going to need a ton of that if we are going to fix the solar panel array that I also tried building in the last video, and building up a welding ship. Now the reason why I want a welding ship is I do eventually want to build like a big project ship, like a big ship of some sort later on in the series, and I am going to need a welding ship to help me out with that sort of thing. So that's why I want to build a welding ship. And yeah, so that's pretty much what I'm going to be doing in today's video in a nutshell. So starting off with the to-do list here, testing the mining ship. So if I just go over to the mining ship here, I think I prepared everything for it in the last video, so I think all the batteries and everything is charged. Yeah, you can see here. So all I really need to do now is just disconnect it and I'm ready to fly. So that's exactly what I'm going to do here, just disconnect it and go fly towards the iron. Anyway, so I'm just going to head over towards the... That is not the iron, that is a space pirate. Well, that was dumb. Anyway, so I'm going to actually be heading for the iron this time. Also, while I'm traveling towards the iron here, I real quickly just want to address why I haven't uploaded in a few weeks. I just haven't personally been feeling well the past few weeks, but now I've gotten better enough to sit down and record a video, so that's why I haven't uploaded in a few weeks. Alright, so I can see the iron right here. Looks like a nice patch too. So now if I just carefully go into first person here, I could probably mine up a bit of iron. And actually, you know what, to save a bit of space too, I think I am going to turn on the survival kits and put in production a ton of... Yeah, there you go, you can see I already put in a ton of gravel. And yeah, so I think I'm all set and ready to mine up some iron. Alright, so I think I'm all full on iron here, so if I actually just go into my inventory here, I can actually check. Yeah, large cargo containers seem to be all full of iron. And so do all the drills and everything else. The survival kits aren't doing anything though. Oh, you want to know why? Totally forgot. The survival kit only refines stone. It can't refine any of the basic materials or ores or whatever. Okay, so that makes a little bit more sense here. So I can just go ahead and turn those off to save a bit on battery. Not like it matters or anything. I got 9 hours. At least that's what it says in the bottom right there. Alright, so that now I'm all full on iron. I'm going to go ahead and carefully get myself away from the asteroid and back to base. Alright, so just connected up to the base here, so now if I get out, I can go ahead over to the refinery and check if everything is being refined properly. So yeah, there you go. The iron is being refined properly, don't have to do anything about it. Being refined into iron. And yeah, so that's the first thing on the checklist done for today. So that wasn't too hard to do. And also the mining ship also operates pretty well too, I would think. I especially like how nimble it is under full load. Like I said, I put 6 gyros on the bottom of here, so it's like really nice and nimble even under like a full load. But the downside to that is if it's empty, it's like super sensitive to like everything, so I guess that's the downside to that, but honestly I'm alright with that. Anyways, going back to the to-do list here, so like I said, I finished the first thing on the to-do list, so now the second thing. So in the last video, if you didn't see it already, I tried to build a solar panel array thing, but it failed and exploded in my face quite literally. And I have thought up a bit of an idea how to fix that. So one of my problems that I thought of to fix was the whole structure here is way too close to the base. Like it's like right beside the cargo container there when it really should be like all the way out there. So that's the first thing I'm going to do. I'm going to grind all this down and then I'm going to move it over like 15 blocks this way and then rebuild it up. So it's like way out of the way from the base kind of thing. And then from there, it's pretty much going to be the same plan like how I built it last time, just it's going to be way out of the way, essentially. And yeah, so now I'm going to spend the next few minutes grinding this down, expanding it out this way and back up. Alrighty here, so I just spent the last few minutes here grinding down the old pillar and then rebuilding another one like really high up. Now the reason why I have it so high is because if I do go all the way up here, you can kind of see that the sun is poking through right there. So my thought is, if the solar panel is this high, then it'll get more like range of the sun. Therefore, it'll be more useful when the sun is out or whatever, if that kind of makes sense. So that's why I built it up so high. And so now from here, I am going to rotor and hinge lock these so they're not moving around while I'm building up the solar panels. Alright here, so just turned on rotor lock and hinge lock for both the rotor and hinge, so now it shouldn't move around while I'm building up the solar panels. So now if I go up here, now my general idea for how I want this to look is if I just go to here. So the first thing I want to do is I just want to build a bit of a line down the middle here, somewhere where I can place the solar panels. So kind of something like that. Just gonna even it out here. Alrighty here, so I just came up with a bit of a plan what to do with the solar panels here. So as you can see, I made the line down the middle here long enough to make it 4 solar panels long here. And I also want it to be 2 solar panels wide on each side. Now the reason why I want that many solar panels is because I do want to generate a ton of power from this, because it is going to take a ton of power to, well, power the base, and I want to make sure I have a ton of surplus, if that makes sense. So that is kind of the general idea that I have for the solar panel array thing for right now. So what I have to do now is kind of lay out all the solar panels and weld them all. Alrighty here, so I just finished placing down all the solar panels here, as you can see, and I did make a few adjustments to it, mainly just aesthetic adjustments. So I did add some of these angle pieces on the sides here just to make it kind of look nicer, I would say. And it does look a bit nicer too, like it looks cleaner, if that makes sense, you know. Anyway, from here, before I build up any of the solar panels, I'm going to build up the rotor, hinge, and camera, and just make sure that this all works properly, because I don't want to weld up all these solar panels for it to blow up in my face again. So that is the general plan for right now. So what I am going to do is quickly just grab a camera, and then I'm going to place it right here. Now again, I don't think direction matters too much, so I'm just going to place it like that. I think that's the right way around anyway. So from there, I am going to just go ahead and add everything to Build Planner and weld the rotor, hinge, and camera up, and then I'm going to mess around with it to make sure it works properly. Alright, so now with the rotor, hinge, and camera all welded up, I can now go down to the custom turret controller and go ahead and mess around with it a little bit and make sure it's working properly. And it's actually not too hard to do either. So the way you operate it here, so this first rotor here would be your advanced rotor, and then this would be your hinge, and then the camera would be the camera. And then from there on the bottom here, you want to put always aim at sun. And then the next thing you want to do is just turn off hinge and rotor lock. So the first thing I'm going to do is just turn off rotor lock. And I'm also going to turn on share inertia tensor just to make sure that everything works properly. So if I go all the way up to the top here, it looks like nothing has happened yet. I'm not sure if that's a good thing or a bad thing. So I'm just going to do the same thing for the hinge. I'm going to turn off hinge lock and then turn on share inertia tensor and see if that does anything. So if I just go to the hinge here, turn on share inertia tensor and then turn off hinge lock, looks like it's doing something. Well, that didn't look very good. But it's doing solar panel things. It's not rotating though, which is odd. It should be rotating. Alright, so I figured out why the rotor wasn't working. That's pretty stupid actually. I turned it off, so I just had to turn it back on, but yeah, I pretty much I've spent the last like few minutes like going through velocity settings and stuff, but just to realize I just turned it off. So yeah, I turned it back on here and nothing has exploded so far, and it looks like it's pointing at the sun pretty directly here, so it's working as intended. So I think from here I am going to weld up all the solar panels so it can start collecting some energy from this. Alrighty here, so I managed to get 4 out of what I think is 20 solar panels in total done. So I'm just gonna go down back to base and see how much power this is producing. So if I just go into the control panel here and search up solar panels, we can see here that they're producing about 159 kilowatts each, which is pretty good, especially if you consider that there is way more here waiting to be constructed and built up. So this is certainly going to produce a ton of power for us. So yeah, so from now I am just going to keep working on building up the rest of the solar panels. Alrighty here, so quick update. I just finished half of the solar panel here, as you can see, and I'm just going to go ahead and check how much power this is producing, which I assume is going to be a lot of power. Alrighty here, so I just did the math, and 159.78 kilowatts times 10 full solar panels equals like 1500 kilowatts or something, or 1.5 megawatts, which is a ton of power. That'll definitely keep the base going for a while. And that's only half the solar panel too. I still have to weld up the other half of the solar panel too. So this is definitely going to produce a ton of power. And so like I said, I'm going to have to weld up the second half of the solar panel now, which is going to take a few minutes. But it shouldn't take too long because I have all the materials now and everything. So yeah, I'm going to be doing that now for the next few minutes. Alrighty here guys, so just finished up building the solar panel array here, and it is working beautifully. So if I did my math right, it should make about 3 megawatts of power. Now the reason why I think that is because half of it made 1.5 megawatts, right? So one would think if you double that it would make 3. Anyways, whatever the exact number is, it is a ton of power. And this should be enough to run the base for quite a while. And so actually I thought a bit of a side quest while I was building up the solar panel. So what I think I'm going to do next actually, before I build up the welding ship, is I want to weld up some speed modules to the assembler so it can assemble things faster. So that is a bit of a side quest that I'm going to embark on right now before I build up the welding ship. And honestly, it shouldn't take too long to build up a couple speed modules. I'm gonna add 3 speed modules to the assembler here just to make sure it goes really fast here. Anyway, so now I'm just gonna be waiting here for a few minutes while I wait for the speed modules to be fully constructed. And then I can weld them onto the assembler here, and hopefully the assembler can assemble things faster now. Alright, and just like that, I finished building up all the speed modules for the assembler. I am going to eventually add some to the refinery too, but for right now the assembler is the main concern. And also I did think of the power drain that the assembler is going to be on now, but I did just build like a really big solar panel that can take care of most of my power problems. So I am not too worried about the power drain that the assembler is going to have on the grid now. Well, according to the battery, it's still going to be fully depleted in 51 minutes though. Is the refinery running still? Refinery isn't running. Okay, so I figured out what's draining the base battery. So I put the mining batteries on recharge, and they're still recharging, which is why the base battery is being depleted as fast as it is. So there's actually no like real strain to the power grid. It's just I put the batteries on the mining ship on recharge. Okay, so everything is alright. Anyways, with that done now, I am going to build up the welding ship So I'm gonna have to now go find the blueprint of the welding ship here. And also, speaking of the welding ship, I did build one off camera, and it's pretty much the same design as the mining ship here. I just added 2 more cargo containers and 2 welding torches to the front of them. That's pretty much all I did. I mean, you'll guys see it here in a second. So yeah, just give me a second to find the blueprint here. Alright, so I found the blueprint for the welding ship here. And it's kind of hard to see with the sun out, but you can see it's pretty much the same design as the mining ship, just 2 extra cargo containers and 2 welding torches to the front of here. And yeah, I think it's gonna be a really efficient little welding ship here, especially for the big ship that I want to build. It is really gonna help out a lot with that. And with building anything really, like if I wanted to make an extension out to the base, instead of welding it up by hand, I could just take the welding ship. Anyway, so now I'm going to be working on this now for the next half hour or however long it's going to take me to build this up now. And yeah, I'll update you guys every so often on my progress with the welding ship here. Alrighty here guys, so quick update for the welding ship here. So I finished up all the big components of the welding ship, like both of the hydrogen tanks, the cargo containers, the welding torches, or the welders, or whatever you want to call them. I also finished up the gyros and both connectors on the bottom here. And so all that's left to build up is the cockpit here, the light, the antenna, some conveyor ports on the side, and the thrusters. I am also not going to be building up the hydrogen engine or any of this stuff here, just because I think it's a bit excessive for a welding ship that isn't going to go very far. So yeah, that's kind of the plan for right now. I'm going to update you guys when the welding ship is fully done. Alrighty here guys, so quick update, just finished welding up the entire welding ship here. As you can see, all of it is welded up and ready to go. And so the next problem here would be getting hydrogen into the welding ship here so I can then fly it over to the cargo container over there and get it hooked up. And now I have a pretty jank way of actually going about this. And so my idea is I'm going to get the mining ship, fly it over, flip it upside down, connect it up to the bottom of the welding ship here, transfer some hydrogen into the welding ship, and then from there fly the welding ship back over to the cargo ship there. Which also reminds me, I still need to build up a bit of a connector in the back of here for the welding ship there. Anyway, I can do that later though. For right now though, I'm gonna try and fuel it up here. So if I just go ahead, disconnect you, and also remember to turn on the battery just like that, and also take the hydrogen tanks off stockpile, I can now move around freely. Nope, because I still need to disconnect from there, just like that. And so from here, very carefully, I am just going to do this, flip it upside down, and then I'm going to go and carefully connect it to the bottom of the welding ship. Just like that. And so then from there, I'm going to go to the control panel, search up hydrogen tank right there. Take one of the hydrogen tanks on here and just turn on stockpile. And that should be enough hydrogen to get it from over here to the cargo container. So from here, I am just going to disconnect, slowly back away, get away from the welding ship, flip back around, and then connect you up. And then I'm going to have to build a bit of a connecting arm and then fly the welding ship back over. And so just like that, I connected the mining ship. And now I'm just going to have to build up a bit of a connecting arm, which honestly shouldn't be that big a deal. If I just go into production, or I don't even have to go into production, I can go ahead and just add some of these pipes to, I can just go ahead and add all this to Build Planner and copy paste it essentially. Alright, and just like that, I welded up a bit of an arm there to park the welding ship. And so from here, I am going to disconnect the welding ship just like that. It should be fully disconnected now. And so very carefully, I'm just going to go forward and up a little bit, go into third person view. Turn this around and just carefully park it in this spot I made for it. And just like that, it is all parked and ready to go. And so from here, real quickly, I am just going to put the hydrogen tanks on the mining ship on stockpile and recharge for the batteries. And I'm going to do the same for the ship here. And so just like that, I have the batteries on the welding ship on recharge and the hydrogen tanks fully stockpiled and ready to go. And just like that, I've completed all the goals that I wanted to get done in this video, along with some extra things. And yeah, you know what? That is going to be the end of today's video here, guys. I really hope you did enjoy today's video. I know I did. And if you could please leave a like on the video if you did enjoy it. And if you do enjoy my content, it would really help me out a lot if you did subscribe to the channel. And yeah, again, thank you for watching today's video, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.